Hello everyone, welcome back to another weekly craft vlog. I hope you're all keeping well. Thanks if you've been watching my previous vlogs, really appreciate it. So yeah, the start of another week. It is currently Monday the 3rd of November. So I didn't do an intro for my vlog yesterday, but I did do a little bit of knitting and things. So these vlogs really are just where I share whatever I am creating, crafting with. Typically it's been knitting just now, but I am anticipating in the new year, I think we'll be introducing lots of the other crafts that I really enjoy doing, but I am hooked on knitting at the moment. So thanks for clicking here. As I say, you can follow me here on YouTube. I do have a couple of other social media platforms. I mean, I don't use them as much, but I do try and post a few things on there. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, you can do. It is Handmade by Marcea, and this is my QR code. So if you just sort of click on that, you can find me there. I think it's linked in the description box down below as well. I've also got a TikTok, which is Handmade by Marcea, and this is a QR code for that. And I have got a Ravelry page, which I do try and keep updated. So I've got all of the projects that I've been working on, my current whips and things. In each project specific thing, that doesn't even make sense. If you go into my project page and then click on each whip or completed project, in there it tells you obviously what it is. It's got links to the patterns on Ravelry, along with the yarn I've used, the needle size, any notes I've made on the projects, etc, etc, etc. So just think of it as like an online library where I'm just storing everything. Tractor's just gone by. So yeah, check that out on Ravelry. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, I'm starting off another week. I'm going to just share with you just now where we're starting off from, so we can sort of see how the week goes. My grandson arrives on Friday, so I probably won't get much done Friday or Saturday, but hopefully I can get a little bit done this week. So if you watched last week's vlog, you know that I was just about to complete, well, to move on to the toe from the sock that I'm knitting for my husband. This is the pattern I'm knitting for my husband's sock. It is One More Step by Denise DeSantis, which is Earthtones Girl. Her pattern is on Ravelry. It's a paid for pattern. I am knitting it. I'm using Yarn Smith's Merino Superwash sock yarn. It's a 4-ply yarn, 75-25 mix. It's in the shade Rainy Days. This is the Rainy Days. And yes, yesterday I finished off my vlog by saying I was going on to the toe. Well, last night I sat and I did indeed complete the right sock. We have a completed sock. The size of that foot. It just seems such a big sock compared to mine. So when I knitted this pattern for myself, I did it on 2.25mm needles. I have, for my husband, I've moved up a needle size, so I'm knitting it on 2.5mm, and I think that is better. I really, really do. His is a 72 stitch cast on. I've done 20 rows of double rib. He's got a 60 row leg, and then that's is a heel wrap. Hang on. What is the heel called? I can never remember the name of the heel. Shadow wrap. It's a shadow wrap heel, and then I've just sort of done the foot. He's a UK size 10. I think I've done like 74 rows for the foot. And then it's just like a normal kind of like toe. But on this toe, it is literally, you decrease every other row. So you do like your decrease row where you've got your slip, slip, knit, knit two together each side. And then a knit row, and then again a decrease row, knit row, decrease row, knit row. And it is like that all the way to the end, rather than it then sort of tapering out and doing every row near the end. Looks like I've just, did I have a split a stitch there? You know, when you look at it, you think, have I split a stitch? It's probably where I've sewn in the ends, and I've probably just popped through. Not sure. Anyway, he tried it on last night, and he was like, oh my God, this is lovely. It's really warm, and he seemed he seemed very knit worthy. So I'm excited to get the other sock on. So what I have done, last night I cast on, and I've just done a couple of rows of rib this morning, but really that toe and this is from the start of this week's vlog. But I've just done this morning. I've just started the double rib, so it's underway. I'm just keen to get this done and off my needles. It's been on them for far too long, so hopefully we'll see quite a bit of progress on the sock this week. So that is carried on. Also carried on from last week, we've got my cloud sweater by PetiteKnit. I'll pop the pattern details in here. But yeah, I'm using, if you check my Ravelry pages, I'm using Drops Air held with Drops Kids Silk. It's creating a beautiful, beautiful fabric. But I'm not sure if it's going to be a wee bit itchy for me, but we will see. But yeah, I sort of finished off yesterday by saying that I did the neck last week. I need to cast on the arms. I'm going to move my little beginning of my little progress keeper just down to the bottom of here so we can see where I am. But really this week I'm planning on working on the sleeves. I've been a little bit nervous about picking up the stitches for the sleeves, but I've watched a couple of videos this morning and I'm feeling more confident about that. So I think the plan is if I can just get one sleeve picked up, I know I'll definitely work on it, because it is a really easy thing for me to sort of work on whilst watching TV, with it just being sort of stuck in it. It's super simple, but there will be obviously some shaping for the sleeve, some stitch decreases and whatnot I'm expecting. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting on with that. So we'll get that one started. I'll move the little marker along anyway to the bottom so we can sort of see from there how we're doing. And then the other thing I'm working on, which I didn't really work on very much at all, is my sock for my 52 weeks of sock. This is a Linea sock. Again, I'll pop the information here. So it is in the 52 weeks of sock book. However, you can buy it as a paid for pattern on Ravelry. I haven't made really much progress on it. I've been working mainly on Glen's sock, but that's where we're up to. That was my progress marker from last time. I think that is like the start of the patterns there, just in case I got lost and needed to count. But this is my progress keeper, so I'm going to mark this, move it up to here, and we can sort of see where we go. But I've literally just started the second pattern repeat. Need to get a bit of work done on that, but yeah, I just want to get Glen's sock done. I'm fed up of it. And then I still need to frog that side of my around the bases blanket from where I'd made my mistake with the popcorn stitch, but I didn't do that last week either. I'm not going to get it all out. It is in here. If I work on it this week, I will show you. But those are all my current whips. It's where we're starting off from. So yeah, do let me know what you're working on this week. Anything you're fancying. I feel like I should be doing some seasonal things. I'm still wanting to do a hat. Oh yeah, when I'm talking of hats, you'll see where this is going in a minute. Obviously, this is this ball of yarn here, the Yarn Smiths one that I'm using for Glen's sock. I wasn't sure with it being such a big sock if I'd be able to get 2 socks out of a 100-gram ball. So I did actually buy 2 balls of this. Now I weighed this after I'd finished my first sock, and then there was still 65 grams in it. So potentially I could have 30 grams left over from this, which is amazing. So that's really, really good. But my point being, I will have an extra ball of yarn of this now. So I'm thinking I might use that and make Glen a Musselburgh hat out of this yarn. I think it should probably be really nice. We shall see. But I think I said to him, would you like a hat in this type of yarn? He went, oh yeah. And I thought it'd be really warm, obviously, with it being like a merino blend. And I've been wanting to do a Musselburgh, and it'll be deady. Once I can get past the shaping, it should be super, super easy. I have bought the pattern already. I've got it printed out. So if I can maybe get that cast on this week, I could potentially take that on holiday with me next week to work on. I just need to get the cast on done and then work out what I'm doing, because I've never done one before. But yeah, I wanted to do that. But I'm actually fancying doing like a colour work hat. Bit of like Fair Eye. I've never done colour work before and I'm just wanting to do it so badly. But one thing at a time. I need to get this sock finished, make some progress on mine, crack on with my sweater, maybe before I start doing anything else. But there's always something, isn't there, looming that you want to do. Anyway, I just wanted to come on, start the introduction, say this is what we're doing, and then say hello. So I will catch you in a bit when I've got something to show you. Hello, it's Tuesday already, so I'm here super quick for me. Normally it's days and days in between. So I had a really productive afternoon yesterday with my knitting. I think it's really helped because Glen is over at my parents' for hours through the day whilst they're having some building work done. So I've been like whizzed round, did a bit of housework, and then just sat really indulgently knitting. Obviously, I'm saying it's purely so I can get work done on his sock. But I'm halfway down the leg of his sock already. So I only cast this on, didn't I, yesterday? So I've got the cuff done. So, yes, it's 72 stitch cast on. I've got 2.5mm needles. So I've done 2x2 rib, 20 rows. And I'm pretty sure it's at 30 rows or 32 rows. So I'm over halfway down the leg. He has a 60 row length leg. And honestly, it is knitting up so fast. I think because I've just got it and then just like cracking on with it. Before I know it, like another row has been done, another round has been done. It's just honestly going so quickly. I'm really pleased with how quick it's coming on. It's nice just not picking up for a couple of rows, putting it down. So I feel like I made really good progress on that. These are just my markers, just for obviously the end of my cuff. And then that's 10 rows in. I haven't done any more. I'm just trying to sort of put them at every 10 rows just to sort of keep. Is that right? Is that 10? Yes. Yes. So yeah, I need to put my marks on. I was looking there thinking, is that 20 rows there? But it must be because my clicker says, I will double check it. How many patterns have I got? That'll tell me. So I've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 times 4, 32 rows. I've made no mistakes on this one. I'm properly in my groove. It just knits up so good. And then last night I'd gone to bed, couldn't sleep, so got back up and I was sat here at midnight. And honestly, what was I thinking? Anyway, I just thought, I'm just going to pick up the stitches for my sleeve on my cloth sweater. So that is exactly what I did. However, I must have still been, even though I couldn't sleep, I probably wasn't at my most alert. So I picked up the stitches and then I thought, God, these are really big and clunky. However, I'd got them with the 5-inch needles on the circular. Far too big. And I did the 2 purl rounds, as it shows you. And then I did a couple of rows of knit. But I did switch it over to my 16-inch fixed circulars on the 4-inch tips. And that is much easier. I do have, as you know, my interchangeable needles, and I do think as I get down this sleeve I'll probably end up switching it onto the interchangeables. But I thought, let's just see how I get on with it. Now, it did say to pick up 68 stitches for my size, but honestly I felt like it needed a bit more. The ratio, oh God, I'm all tangled up. The ratio it was saying was like approximately pick up 2 stitches every 3 rows. So I started following that on the first pick up, and I got to about here and I was like, oh, that's far too much I still need to do. So I unraveled it, and then I did it again where I do 2 stitches, like 2 rows, miss a row, then do 1, then miss, then 2, then miss, then 1. So it's like a 2, 1, 2, 1. And that worked out quite nicely up to the midpoint, came all the way down. And I was just really worried about getting that awful gapping, missing stitch under the arm where you kind of pick up. So I've actually ended up doing an extra 4 stitches for the sleeve, which actually is a couple of sizes up. So there are instructions for 7. Hang on a minute. Let me just check what I've ended up doing. I think I'm picking up more. I think I went to, where am I? So I should have picked up 68 stitches and I picked up 72. But what I'm going to do, I will probably just follow the decrease rate for my size and just leave it with an extra couple of stitches on. I don't mind a slightly wider sleeve at all. For what should have been my size, I should have been doing decrease rows every 14 rounds. But for the extra stitches, it says here it should be going every 12 rounds. I just don't want it to be really, I don't know, really quick. I don't know, like, I can't speak, what am I trying to say? I don't want it to be like really narrow. I'll have a look at it and see what I think anyway. I mean, they knit to the same, so I'm knitting it pretty much the same length, and I'll be doing my sleeve length however I want it to be anyway. So I think it should be okay. But I'm really happy that I've got it done. I'll show you it. I think that was very, very rambly. I've just got a bit tangled up here with my yarn. Hang on, because I've got obviously bits from the body, bits from, that's there. Okay, so as you can see here, so the pickup, there's two garter rows, like 2 rows of pearls on the pickup, just like the house, like the detail that they've got on the shoulder seam. So we've got that round the arm seam as well. So I think that'd be like a really nice detail, because it is obviously just a very plain stockinette sweater, but it is definitely starting to come together. So I've literally just done 3 rows of stockinette, and but I've made a start, and it wasn't that bad at all. I think my problem is I really overthink everything, rather than just doing it and thinking, well, at the end of the day I can just pull it out. So that's the inside of it there. That's from the pickup seam. I decided not to weave all the ends in as I was, not to knit them in as I was going, purely because in case it reduced the stretch when it's blocking, I didn't want it to pucker under the arms. So I will sew them in after the event. But I'm really, really pleased because it looks like, hang on, I've got my cast on bit of yarn here. But it looks like I should be okay, and I shouldn't have any holes under my armpit. So I'm really, really happy. As well as picking, I'll show you when I do the other sleeve actually what I did. But as well as sort of picking up the stitches, then I actually did a, I went to the row below, and I did I did one leg of one stitch and another leg of another to pull them together. Just kind of like made it up, and that's what kind of made me think I really need the extra stitches. And yeah, I think it's all like coming okay. I think I've probably got away with it, and if it does need a little tighten up, I have got my cast, like the end of my new yarn here, which I can do a little pull together if needed. Let me know if you'd like to see a bit more of like the process of things when I'm doing it. I do think if I knit this sweater again, which I very well may do, I might just do like a separate process video, like the whole like project video, and then I can sort of show it a bit more, each stage that I'm getting to and how I'm like tackling it and whatnot. But hopefully these vlogs, if you've sort of followed me anyway, we're kind of chatting about it as we go. Part of me is wishing when I did my neck that I have still got a good bout of stretch, because I did I knit over the ends, so they were sort of knit in, so I didn't have to sew them in afterwards. But I think it's created I can feel like that yarn moving. I think I can stretch it actually. So I do think I need to just thingy it round so that because when I stretch like that, I can feel the tension in it. But I think if I just try and bring it round, I should be able to widen that, and so that it has a maximum stretch, but I can feel it tugging a wee bit. So I do think it's going to limit a little bit of the neck stretch. Does that make sense? Whereas if I did it after the event, it'd have been okay. So we shall see. We'll see. I'm going to just sort of work my way along here and just try and just do the maximum stretch, hold, maximum stretch, hold. I can feel it catching a wee bit here. And you can see there now it's puckering up, can you see? So that's stretch that, hold. I don't want to snap it. It's definitely a little bit chunkier there. Stretch that, hold. Don't know if I can feel it now. I was trying to slip back. I'm going to just ease it along. Ease it along. That's nearly at the end there, actually. So I just pull that. I think that's, oh, that feels better. Oh, that feels much better. Excellent. So that's a little tip, actually. Don't sew the last bit in, leave it. And then just maybe try and stretch it and see where you're at. But that's definitely given a couple more inches. That should definitely go over my head. We'll try it on later. But anyway, that's my update. Ramble. I've done nothing else yet. But I'm just worried that it's going to be so itchy. Oh no. Again, don't forget, give me recommendations of mohair, just so that I know that moving forward. Or maybe I won't even do anything with mohair, but it does give such a lovely fuzz, doesn't it? Okay, that's where we're up to. That's my Tuesday update so far. I'll catch you a wee bit later. Hello, it's a Friday morning, so I thought I'd give it a quick catch up with how things are going. So let's start off with my cloud sweater. So I'm really pleased that I picked the sleeve up. I have been able to get on quite a bit with it, actually. So as you know, or maybe you don't, I've picked up more stitches than what my size said, just because it seemed a more even pickup. And then I was unsure whether I was going to follow the decrease for my size, which would be every 14 rows, or the bigger size, which would be every 12. Anyway, I've decided to just follow the sleeve decreases for the bigger sleeve, just so it keeps it at a rate where we'll sort of still get down to, so it's not too wide, lower down the sleeve. So yeah, I've just thought I'm just going to decrease every 12, as it says. So I'll put little stitch markers every decreased row. So I've done like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, lots of decreases so far, and it's coming on really, really well. It's starting to look like a jumper. So yeah, I can't believe how quickly it's coming on. I've had to put it down to do some work on other things, otherwise I'll just obsess on this. But yeah, it's just knitting up really quickly. It's great knitting something with just a few stitches on like this, you know, and it just goes so fast, and you just see the growth, so it's really satisfying. I've sort of seen loads of things about people who get like the second sleeve thing where it becomes a thing and it never gets finished. I just can't understand it, because for me it's really satisfying knitting something in the round with fewer stitches and just seeing the progress. So I'm really, really happy so far. I think it's coming on nicely, and yeah, that's where we're up to. Exciting. I'll probably try it on later, but not at the moment. Maybe I'll try it on probably when I've got no makeup on, just worried about transferring it on. But that neck definitely feels better since I stretched it out a bit with those picked up with the yarn that I sort of knitted in the back. I think it just has probably been a little bit tight, so it's definitely now got the full stretch, so I'm happier with that. Yeah, so that's my progress so far with it. Nothing exciting to tell really. I am curious just to see how much yarn it uses for the sleeve. This was a full ball, and I will put it in my Ravelry notes as well, but it would just be handy when sort of trying to sort of calculate how much yarn I use on patterns and things, so that in future when I go to like purchase my yarn for a particular project, I've got a better idea about that type of sleeve uses so many balls, you know, for the sleeves, for the back, for the front, whatever. Because at the moment I've got no clue, so I'm just kind of like going in there blindly. So yeah, that's been coming on well. And then yesterday I just knit a couple of rows on my 52 weeks of sock, my Linea one. It has been very neglected. I think I just want to get Glen's sock finished first, and then I'm going to just crack on with this, and then I won't work on any other socks, I don't think, until this is done. But I just did a couple more rows there, so you can see that's just coming on really nicely. I think probably it just needs a little bit more before I start doing the heel. That's going to be interesting. Then all of a sudden it'll probably be finished. But I just love working with a pattern and texture. I honestly love it so much. I'm really happy. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how this fits and everything else. But isn't it beautiful? I love it. And I love the colour. And I think this is going to wear really well. It just feels gorgeous. I have done this on the 2.5 needle as well. I think that's what the pattern suggested. And normally for myself, I knit on the 2.25. So I think I might even just do like a normal vanilla sock, actually. Maybe I'll do a normal vanilla sock in with a 2.5 millimeter needle, or maybe do a pattern I've already done, you know, just sort of see and compare so I can get an idea. But I'm just loving it. I just think it's so nice. And yeah, I am still itching to do colour work. I say this every time I come on. I just really want to do some colour work. And then I've got on so well with Glen's sock. I've literally got 3 more rows to do before I do the heel. So yeah, it's just dead boring, isn't it? There's no, but you can just see I've progressed quite nicely. I've done a lot. It's such a quick knit. So yeah, I'm currently at 57 rounds. So I've done 20 cuff. I'm at 57 at the moment for the leg, but I do a 60 row leg. So 3 more, and then we're going to do the heel. So yeah, that's coming on nicely. Actually, what's it like? I'm just wondering how the pattern matches up. I don't think we're nowhere close. You can see, I think it'd be about there, wouldn't it? So it's only slightly out. I dare say, had I maybe just done a slightly shorter leg, 10 rows shorter, it might have been about a match. But to be honest, it doesn't really matter. I never go for matchy with these. But yeah, it's knitting up lovely. And I've made no mistakes on this one. I did get a couple of miscounts, I think, just losing where I was at. But I think what's helped me is I am placing markers every 10 rounds. And there certainly was a little bit, a few rows back. And I thought, oh, and for some reason, I either hadn't clicked my row counter, or I'd clicked it and it hadn't moved round. I mean, they're only cheap, aren't they, these? And it hadn't picked up, and it looked like I needed to do more. But I thought, in my head, I'm sure I should be cabling now. And I just checked again with these, and you can work out because it's multiples of 4 of the row pattern repeats. And yeah, I was right. I did need to do a cable, even though it looked like I needed another round to go. But so yeah, it's actually been really handy just placing a marker every 10 rows. And it just keeps me in line. So yeah, just another couple to go. And then we're doing the heel. So literally that is all the progress I've done. But I think that's pretty good. I've had a lot more knitting this week. I'm going to get quite a bit done today. Actually, I'll show you in a minute. Let me just get up to this little section, the pearls and knits section. And I'm going to show you how I do the Russian purl, which makes it a tighter bit here. So you don't get as gappy pearl sections next to your cables. Does that make sense? So I'll show you how I do those. And it's just literally the way you wrap the yarn around the needle. Instead of doing like over, you go under. And it just creates a tighter thing. It uses less yarn. And I think it's actually similar to how you do your knit. Someone was saying, now I did think about, sorry, I'll start again. I was thinking about, you know, when I was doing my cloud sweater, and obviously a lot of it's knitting around, but the top bits of the yoke, of the front and back yoke, are knitting flat backwards and forwards. So obviously having to do purls, and most people's purl rows are looser than their knit rows. And so I think, who was it today? I can't think who it was, but I had actually thought about this myself. I'm sure I mentioned it either in this vlog or last week's vlog, about when working in the flat, if it'd be worthwhile on the purl rows to do like the Russian purl instead. So it sort of is more consistent with your knit rows. And so, yeah, the tension's more even. That's what I'm trying to say. So I think that's something I'm going to look at. I think, actually, is it called combination knitting? I'm not very good with all these terms, so I'm still a very like novice knitter. I don't know if it's called combination knitting, where you do a mix then of continental and European style. And so I think like for your knit, you do it how you normally would. And for your purl, you do the opposite way. And is it called combination? I think it is. I wonder if it was the knit purl girl. I'll need to look on my history today, because I literally watched a video this morning or last night. Was it Andrea Mowry? It was Andrea Mowry, I think. I'm pretty sure it was Andrea Mowry in her recent podcast. And she was she answers people's questions and everything, doesn't she? So I think it was in there, and she was talking about it. I think so. And I think she's done a video on it, actually, which I haven't watched. I'll maybe go and watch that video. I'll come back and have an update when I actually know what I'm talking about. Anyway, that's what I'm up to for now. Let me just knit a couple of rows, and then I'll show you what I was talking about with the purl stitch. All right, this is going to be a bit weird because I'm actually looking through the viewfinder, so you're going to have to excuse me for that if it's a bit weird. So obviously I've just finished my knit stitches, so I'm just going to bring my yarn round as if to purl, which I'm going to purl next to a purl. So I've now got purl 2, knit 2, purl 2, knit 2, you know. So you go into purl like so, and normally when you purl you would go around this way, and that uses quite a bit of yarn. So that's like your traditional way to purl, but all you do, you just take it under. So it's just literally that's all you do, and then go to purl, go under, and that's it. It's super easy. Then knit the next 2. I just split that stitch. I can't see what I'm doing through the viewfinder. Knit, and then it's purl, so it's just under. Don't go over the top like you normally would go under. Under. And then again, we've got knit. And then that. So yeah, I think from now on, whenever I've got cabling, this is what I'm going to do to stop that big sort of gappy purls that you can get where it looks stretched out next to cables. And it certainly looks a lot better than my other sock that I did, like my pink and grey one that I did at the same pattern, where I just did normal, like regular purl stitches. And now it just seems it's just dead normal for me now to do it that way. When I have like normal purl, when I'm doing something else and I'm purling, like on my Linea sock, I have to really think that I need to do a normal purl stitch. The last couple here, just show you again, just under and under. So yeah, give it a go. Let me know how you get on. And a big thank you to Sheila, who suggested that for me. I absolutely love it. It has definitely made a big difference. So yeah, there we go. I shall carry on now, finish off this round. In fact, I'll probably finish off the 3 rounds now, up to the point where I'm starting my heel, and then I'll be back later. And yeah, there we are. Okay, so yeah, dead easy. everyone, I'm just popping on to finish off this week's vlog. I'm currently in a Premier Inn in Lancaster. We dropped our grandson off home yesterday. We stayed overnight and we are off to the lakes today for the week ahead. So anyway, look how far I've got on with Glen's sock this week. It's so good. I've finished the leg. I've done the heel, the shoulder wrap heel, no problems at all this time. It went so smoothly, and I'm now well onto the foot. Yeah, I've got done like what, about 20 rows virtually. How many rows have I done of the foot? You can tell us there, 23 rows. I need to just put another little stitch marker in, but has come on so well. It's knitting up beautifully. No mistakes yet on this one with row counts or pattern counts or anything. I just don't know what I was doing last time. I think I wasn't concentrating properly, but yeah, it's coming on really, really nicely. So is this going to focus? It has problems focusing on this one. I don't know why. Oops, daisy. Just trying to see if it can focus nicely. There we go. Isn't that lovely? It's such a nice yarn. Doesn't know what to do now. It's in between Zoom strength. But yeah, that is that. It's been a successful week. I'd show you me, but I'm like literally, I've got a towel on my head. I'm just out the shower. I just wanted to wrap this video up. So yeah, this week we've sort of done all of this sock and I'm a good way down my sleeve. I've brought all my knitting with me, plus a new ball of sock yarn, just in case I want to cast something new on. But yeah, that is everything this week. I'm going to start next week's vlog once I get to the lodge today. So I shall see you face to face later on. But thank you so much for watching. All the details to everything that I've featured this week will be in the description bar down below if you want to know anything about, you know, links for anything. But for now, guys, take care. I'll see you all later. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great week knitting, crafting, sewing, whatever you're doing, and catch you later. Bye.